Well, hey everybody, it's Don Smith, and I can't believe it's already the first day of spring, March 20th, here in California. I believe about 12:15 this afternoon. We are officially in spring. And on a personal note, I'm going to be leaving this weekend along with my wife Barry and a longtime friend and former Sports Illustrated staff photographer Ron Madra. And we're all off to Patagonia to scout for a new workshop that will be coming up next year, 2019. And we're really excited to be getting down to South America. This has been a bucket list item for me. And as of next Monday, we will be hitting the ground running. Beautiful Argentina, and be finishing in Chile and scouting that whole area down there and hopefully putting together a really, really nice workshop for 2019. Speaking of workshops, I've been busy with my spring workshops and still have a lot of travel ahead of me and a lot of workshops coming up. But about 2-3 weeks ago, I was in Big Sur teaching my spring Big Sur workshop. And you all know how much I love the new Luminar 2018 software. I think it's just a fantastic software. If you're just hearing about this for the first time, go on to my website, click on the discounts and affiliations link, and it will take you to a company called McFun. They've recently changed to Skylum. I just haven't put up the new graphic yet with as busy as I've been, but you will see Luminar. Check it out. It's they're always offering deals, and you can get a deal through my link. It's about $69. It is a standalone program. It is also a plugin for here in Lightroom, where I'm at. But I'm going to take it a step further today. The question came up. We were in our hotel rooms. When I say we, I had my assistant instructor, Pierre Steenberg, who will also be assisting me on my Namibia workshop, our Namibia workshop this August. And another gentleman that has taught with us a lot, Kurt Fargo. And the question arose is, if we're working in Luminar, there was no way to actually save all your layers and files that we were aware of and come back and reopen them. But we collectively put our heads to the problem, and I think we've come up with a pretty simple way of doing it, and we want to share it with you today. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this one image here. This was a shot captured just before the sun set at Sedona's Cathedral Rocks. This is from Red Rock Crossing Crescent Moon area. Walked up quite a ways, maybe a half mile up, and I shot this from a vacant field looking across. And we had a nice stormy sky, so that was adding to the drama of the scene. Now, this is a raw file, completely untouched. I could right-click out of Lightroom, and you can see all my options here, and here's Luminar 2018. But the problem is I wanted a file that I can go back to tomorrow, next week, next month, and have all of my layers and adjustments saved as I came out of Luminar. And right now, I'm not sure if Luminar, if somebody out there knows this answer, let me know, but the three of us haven't been able to find a way of saving that out of Luminar. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to edit this in Photoshop. So I'm just going to click my Command shortcut, Command E on a Mac, Command or Control E. And okay, now we have the image opened up into Photoshop, still a raw file, no adjustments have been made. I'm going to go to, first of all, I want to come here under Filter and go to Camera Raw Filter. Shift Command A would be the shortcut for that. And I want my histogram up. Now I'm in Pro Photo Color Gamut here, which is the widest color gamut of the three that are currently available. And I'm just going to check highlights, and I'm just going to check my shadows. You can see I have a little shadow detail in there. I really am not going to do anything else. I just wanted to check my whites and my black point. Okay, now here's where it gets cool. Normally I would come up here into Filter, and I would come down to the new Skylum and Luminar 2018. But we're going to throw in an intermediate step here. And I'm going to hit Command or Control J. And look over in the bottom right in the layer palette. It makes a duplicate layer for me. So now all the work that I'm going to be doing in Luminar is going to be done on this layer. But in order for me to retain all of my steps that I go through in Luminar, I'm going to have to right click on this layer and I'm going to convert it to what we call a smart object right there. And now you're going to see a little smart object icon come up as soon as the spinning wheel stops on this layer, and that will denote that this layer is indeed a smart icon or a smart object layer. And there you can see it. It's right into the little icon picture on the layer itself. Now we're good to go. Now we can come into our filter. We'll come down to Skylum and we'll go through and we'll make a couple of really quick changes to this image. As this is opening, again, if you have not heard of or experimented with Luminar 2018, I think you're really, really doing yourself a disservice. If I have a histogram looking just about right, there's a couple of ways I can go about processing this image. The one I really like is in the Basic tab. And if you don't see that, come down here to Categories. It'll open up preset categories. Just come on over here to Basic. And then take the second from the left, the one that says Image Enhancer. And I'm going to click on that. Now that's at 100%. And you don't always have to accept the opacity of what's going on there. You can take that completely off, bump it back into taste. That's one way of doing it. Follow my cursor up here to Custom Workshop. We're going to clear this workspace. And I'm going to show you another way where we can step through on individual filters. And I'm going to click on Add Filter. Now you see we have a bunch of filters that open up in this flyout filter window. The ones I have set to orange are the ones that I use on a regular basis. And the way I get them to turn orange, I'll come down here to one, let's say Saturation Vibrance. You see that little star right there? I'm going to click on that and there we go. And now that would be orange, but I don't use that one that much, so I'm going to unclick it. Here's one, and I'm going to clear this one out of here. So let me hit the little delete button, and now we're back to just starting to add filters. This standing for artificial intelligence, and you can see on this guy, it's really what artificial intelligence is doing is it's looking kind of for the shadowed area and brightening those, and then looking for areas of highlights and darkening those. But it's a highly sophisticated algorithm, and it just does an amazing job. And you can see as I tug on it and change the opacity, you can get all kind of different looks. Actually kind of like that look there. There's another one I want to do is I want to come down here to Golden Hour. And so we will click on Golden Hour. There it is. And I'm going to just take the amount up because this was really warm light. We were right kind of at the tail end of sunset. And I'm just trying to make this replicate what my eyes saw. I'm going to scroll through a couple of more here to see if there's anything else. I really like microstructure. So let's see if we can get some of that red rock on Cathedral Rocks to just kind of pop a little. And what I like about this, it only goes after very small details. So it's leaving the sky alone. And just for kicks, let's come on down to, I don't want to go to highlights and shadows. I am looking for Vignette. Okay, and here is Vignette. I didn't see it. It was turned off, so I'm going to make that turned on. And let's click on it to activate it. And I'm just going to pull down the amounts a little bit. Just like so. I don't want to go too much. My vignetting really, I'm going to steal a line from the great Ansel Adams. If you can see my vignette, I've gone too far. But the goal of my vignette is to work the eye towards the middle part of the picture where all the action is and not allow any hot spots along the edges of the picture. Okay, so we've done 4 changes to this picture, 4 different layers. I'm going to go ahead now and click Apply. Okay, and now you can see that we're back in Photoshop, and there's my background layer. If I turn this off, there's the raw file. Excuse me, there's the raw file. And then here's the changes we've come out of. Now, this is the cool thing. If we did not make this layer a smart object, it was just a regular object. If I clicked on it, it would, well, it's not going to work now because I have made it a smart object, but it would just simply reopen the picture back into Luminar. And what would happen is you would have lost all 4 of those steps. But if you come down here to the bottom where it says Luminar and double click on that, watch what's going to happen here when we get back into Luminar. And there we go. We have all of our filters still in place with all of the settings. So again, this is a great way. I teach a lot in my workshops to work on an image, and if you feel a little ambivalent about it, you're not quite sure, close it down. Go away from it for a day or two. Let it be. But now you can come back and you can go right back to your starting points, and if you want to do some tweaking on the adjusting of certain filters, you can. Or if I come back a day or two later and I go, yeah, I really, really do like that, then I'm at the final version of my image. So I hope this has helped you. Luminar, again, I think is just one of the most dramatic new software products that have come out and hit the market. They are currently working on adding a browser part to this program, similar to what On1 has done. And I haven't given up on On1. People ask me, are you simply just Luminar now? No, I'm really a conglomerate of Lightroom, Photoshop, On1, and Luminar. There's things I can do in all 4 of those programs that help me craft and sculpture my picture along the way based on what I feel that picture needs. So that's our tip of the month. The best way, you always hear me say this, just get out and practice, go back in and dig up some of your older photos that you've done and just have a blast with this. It's about $69. It won't break the bank. It's the most powerful software for $69 you'll ever have the pleasure of getting your hands onto. So now you know how to go ahead and save your layers in Luminar, and hopefully Luminar will give us a way to do that right out of the program. And if there is a way and all 3 of us have missed it, I apologize. Please write in. Let us know. We're learning the software right along with you guys. So until next month, this is Don Smith. I'm getting ready to go to Patagonia and getting really excited. So I'll be sharing a lot of those adventures with you, I'm sure, when I get back next month. Take care.